Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I want to entitle this video, When Everything Ends, or Before Everything Ends, Do This. And the reason why I'm going to entitle it that or something close to it is because we are about to go through a massive shift all over the world all at once. But it's not going to happen in one day. And what I'm referring to is when our currency goes from paper cash, fiat cash, which I don't believe is worth anything anyway, right? It's not even worth the paper it's printed on. And everyone's starting to realize that day after day, the more inflation happens and we move closer into this financial crisis, it is going to be transformed into a digital currency. And I want you to do something. And I'm going to literally give you financial advice today. I'm going to give you financial advice. And first off, that financial advice is get to know the tax code right now, right? And I'm going to explain why. But first, I want to show you, in July is when the Federal Reserve has announced and the government's announced that the FedNow on FedNow.gov, you can go see that the rollout of the digital currency, the digital dollar, is going to start in July. Now, I've told you this before, and I believe there will be a crisis of some sorts to get more and more buy-off. And this is going to be a multi-year rollout, right? Because people need to be able to agree with it, like it, and all that stuff. And people are going to take it willingly, especially during a crisis, because it'll be the first time in history that the Federal Reserve can inject not cash, but digital dollars into your account personally, just straightforward. Now, when I talk about getting to know the tax code right now, there are so many people, and the reason why this video is being inspired because I was putting together some more lessons for the side hustle course, because I want to keep adding to that course because I want to inspire you to start businesses or side hustles. Now, it doesn't mean you're leaving your job and starting some grand thing, but what you're starting to realize is the importance of every dollar that goes to the tax man. I mean, you are literally giving away so much money to taxes that you don't need to if you would just live your life a little different, right? And there are legal tax write-offs and credits that are out there that so many people don't realize. Have you ever heard the term, the phrase, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life? That is absolutely true. My entire life, since I became a full firefighter, even before then, I had side hustles, but even as a full-time firefighter, on the weekends, people would go, how do you have enough time in the day or the week to accomplish what you're accomplishing? And quite frankly, I never thought of it as work. Everything from all of my side hustles, I did things that I love, and I did what's called a lifestyle side hustles, lifestyle businesses. If you love to be outdoors and camping, why wouldn't you start to flip camping gear, right? And find write-offs, and as that grows, to put you outdoors, trying out equipment, things like that. I know somebody that loves to wrench on ATVs, just loves to flip ATVs. And I said, why don't you start an ATV rental business or a sales business? And it's funny because the light bulb goes off in people's heads. I'm like, then you're doing what you love. You get to ride them, you get to use them, you get to demo them, you get to sell them, and all of these write-offs. It's so insane. Some people love real estate. I love to invest in real estate as well. And then I get to write off certain aspects of my life that I do every day, but they become a write-off. It might sound funny, but this whole channel, you guys know since the beginning, McDonald's coffees, right? I like McDonald's coffees. It's a great value, and every time I buy one of these instead of some high-end fashionable brand that honestly tastes like burnt crap, I'm able to buy a silver dime every time, just with the savings of this cup of coffee compared to some bougie coffee, right? But now, because I have a YouTube channel and I've shown this every day, guess what? They become a write-off. Why? Because it's a staple of this channel. It's a prop. It's a prop that I get to enjoy. You see, I want people to embrace their passions at the same time understanding how to make money. And one way, and this is the advice, one way of making money is the concept of a penny saved is a penny earned. Now think about that. I used to get made fun of. I was made fun of all the time by these firefighters I was working with about, I don't know, 15 years ago when I bought a Honda Civic. Now to give you some context, and you could see I'm coming to you, from IKEA, right? Matter of fact, a subscriber ran into me in a parking lot the other day and was like, holy cow, the Ninja. And he sees me getting out of Kia. He's all, you're driving a Kia. Like, you're not driving something fancy. Well, I've always had the money to, drive fancy cars. Like I've probably told you before about the story when I saved up to buy a Ferrari cash in the early 2000s from some of my proceeds from my flipping business, flipping homes, right? But I still couldn't bring myself to do it. Now, honestly, I'm going through a midlife crisis, so I want to go buy myself, a midlife crisis car. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go buy 10 cars. This probably next year, the end of this year, next year, right? Because I'm still waiting for those prices to pull back. Why? But I've always been able to buy anything I want, but I chose not to, right? Well, when I bought that Honda Civic, the guys would make fun of me because it was a $2,000 old, 20-year-old Honda Civic. But I was saving so much in gas. I was taking that money, and every week or so, I was buying a tube of silver with it. And the guys that were making fun of me were making six figures, and they couldn't even bring themselves to buy a tube of silver themselves. Matter of fact, one guy said the best investment he ever made was he finally did what I said, and he bought one tube of silver. And that has been his best performing investment ever. Pretty sad, huh? This guy makes well over six figures. And that's all he has ever made. I mean, other than, his retirement account going up and down with the stock market, that's the only thing he's ever bought and watched it go up that much in value. And they were mocking me like crazy. I could care less, right? Because they used to literally put quarters out behind the muffler because I would say that thing's literally like spitting out money. So they'd think it was funny. And then I'm not joking. I would go and gather the quarters up. I go buy myself some more silver. I'm not joking. But the advice part is doing things that you love for free, and a penny saved is a penny earned. And people are giving these pennies away, which add up to dollars, which add up to thousands of dollars over the course of a year in taxes that you don't need to. You could simply start a side hustle. And that's why I started the side hustle course, to show people how to start from nothing, literally from nothing. Goes from a yard sale to a corporation to employees, right? Business partners and all that stuff, because you just need that nudge, but be able to legally write things off and understand how important it is. So guys, I'll put a link to the half off. It's literally, the code is half off, all one word, all caps, to get 50% off. If they're still there, don't pay full price for the course. If you get the code, use the code. But I want people to be encouraged, because these are the days before we go to a digital currency and before really everything's under a spotlight. This is the time to start your side hustles now and to save that money before that transition from a paper currency to a digital currency. That's something very important. I want you to be established in a business or a second job somewhere, so that you have something when everyone else is losing their jobs. I want you to be secure. I want you to have a nest egg. I want you to own things. Be an owner, not a borrower. Guys, that is the message of this channel. It is so vital that you learn how to pay off debt and then start stacking assets, because I want to watch you guys crush it as this market comes down. All right, guys, that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.